So this is a comment I made on Genu Park's video. He's a Canadian who is asking, how can Americans deal with all the stress, the healthcare stress, the gun violence stress, and all the other uncertainties that come from living in the United States? It reminds me of this little still I saw someone take of a K-drama in which the woman was in a car. She looks sort of like this upscale woman, and she's on the phone saying, "What do you mean father was shot? What are we, in America?" So to me, growing up here is a lot like living in the Wild West. I mean, it is very uncertain life here. You can get shot at any moment by random gun violence. You could lose all your money because of some healthcare insurance disaster and so on. And it's getting more that way over time. For example, when I was younger, insurance companies, they may have been profit hungry, but generally speaking, they usually paid their claims. And in recent years, they've decided, most of them to varying degrees, to purposely deny claims that are absolutely legitimate for just improving their bottom line. And this is not just my personal opinion, some conspiracy theory. You can read about this. Even the Kaiser Family Foundation published multiple studies about this. And it's not just if you contract some weird disease that only has an experimental treatment. We're talking about ordinary things that would happen to you, and they go out of their way to avoid paying the claim. We have something here called HMO plans. In my opinion, you should never have an HMO policy of any kind because they are designed to do this to you. You could go to an in-network hospital with an in-network doctor, and they order some tests that are out of network, and you are charged $10,000. So it's a combination of the fact that not only will they randomly bill you for things that are out of network, but they will bill you exorbitant prices that are way beyond the cost of actually providing the service, like to the order of 10 to 100 times more. This is just life here. I personally do what I can to try to escape some of these. I only have certain kinds of insurance that are less likely to have that type of problem, but there's no guarantee. The fact is, though, that everyday life is, for the most part, for most people, relatively safe. It's just not as safe as other countries. For example, with gun violence, for most people, if you live in a middle class area, the chances you're going to get shot at random are actually not that much higher than they are in, let's say, Western Europe. But overall, we live in a very unstable country, and you just get used psychologically to that. You don't think about it for the most part. You do, in my opinion, have to accept the fact that life is extremely fragile here. When the pandemic happened, I knew the US would not handle it well. We got out, we went to Korea because I could tell they were going to do a good job. Was watching interviews of their health officials, and I knew they knew what they were doing, and they did a great job. And, watching the news from Korea during the early parts of the pandemic was like watching a zombie apocalypse movie unfold on your screen. The one plus of this, I guess, if there is a positive side, is that Americans are more willing to accept risk, and we're more willing to try different things sometimes because the status quo is really not that great. It's not stable. But it's also the minus. We're willing to blow everything up and cause disasters in our country because things aren't that great as well.